श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदानश्चन्वन्नूतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे श्रीगुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्रीशङ्कराचार्य स्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
नमस्ते महोदय। राजेश्वरी शिवशंकर भगिनी।
नमस्ते
नमस्ते।
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाभ्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीशं शैलाजीनकुशोत्तरम्।
शैलाजिनकुशोत्तरं, not G, G. शैलाजिनकुशोत्तरं।
शैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्।
Good.
शरद चवन महोदय।
तत्रैकाग्रमणः कृत्वा यच्चिन्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युज्याद् योगात्मना विशुद्धये।
Okay, next.
वीणा फानिश्री भगिनी।
Same shloka once again.
वीणा फानिश्री भगिनी। ओके, भानुरेखा भगिनी।
Yes. तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्यात् योगमात्मविशुद्धये।
Next.
अनुपमा भट्ट भगिनी।
समं कायशिरो ग्रीवं धारयन्नचलं स्थिरः सम्प्रेक्ष्य नासिकाग्रं स्वं दिशश्चानवलोकयन्।
Good.
उषा श्रीनिवासन भगिनी।
नमस्ते महोदय।
Namaste.
Oh God, I am not able to see. 1 second. प्रशान्तात्मा विगतिभिः ब्रह्मचरि व्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्य मच्चित्तः युक्त आसीत मत्परः।
प्रशान्तात्मा विगतभिः ब्रह्मचारिव्रते स्थितः।
प्रशान्तात्मा विगतभिः ब्रह्मचारिव्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्य मच्चित्तः युक्त आसीत मत्परः।
लक्ष्मी देवी भगिनी।
Same shloka please.
Yes sir. प्रशान्तात्मा विगतभिः ब्रह्मचारिव्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः।
Next.
लीना मेहुलदामा भगिनी।
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं
yogi niyatamanasah. So this was not done yet.
Yes, this was not
These
done
are
now.
not-
Yeah.
Not
We
yet
not
done.
done this?
15, yeah.
Only till 6.14.
I'm sorry about this. I thought we have done that.
It's okay, sir.
So yesterday, whatever we saw was, we initially learned something about Dhyana Yoga. And then this Shloka number 611, start talking about Desha, the place where you are going to do the Dhyana. And then Kala is not talked about here, but we also know about which is the right time for doing meditative practice. Then Desha, Kala, Asana, what kind of seat is required. I think some of you would have also experienced that when you went for a meditation session this morning. The asana is another thing. Then, how do you ensure that you are able to take care of your senses and mind? Chitta, where is that? We had one sloka here. Vijitendriya. Okay, so we also try to see how we can overcome the mind and sense complex in terms of getting into meditation. Vijita Indriya. So that is also another thing that was supposed to be taken care of. And then we have to start focusing by looking at the tip of the nose. Tatra ekagram manakritva yata chittendriya kriya upavishyasya yunjati yogam atma vishuddhaye. Then you have to start getting deeper to understand the self. Based on the understanding of self that we have right now, we are trying to do experimentally ourselves to see how to explore ourselves. Yogam atma vishuddhaye. Then this is very important. Samankaya shirogrivam dharayan nachalam stiraha. The torso, the neck, and the head should all be straight, and achalam, there should not, which should be absolutely, there should not be any shaking that takes place during the time of meditation. Stiraha is absolutely stable. Then sampreksha nasikagram swam. Look at the positioning of the eyeballs in such a way that when you start focusing on the tip of the nose, whichever place the eyeball is going to be, close your eyes. And then you are not supposed to start looking here and there. Dishacha anavalokayan. So this is what is the position. How do you sit? How do you prepare yourself? Then when you are going to be in that prashantatma vigata bihi, you are able to come out of your fear. And then we also need to have some kind of restraints in us, like the way a brahmachari was observing the restraints. Brahmachari vrate sthitaha manasayamya. Ensure that absolutely the mind is under control. Machittaha. Bhagavan says, think of me in your mind. Machittaha. Yukta asita. Then you try to get into yourself. Yukta asita matparaha. Matparaha means absolutely what you need to reach is myself. Matparaha. Start looking at me as the absolute. And you try to find that in your own self, which means that Bhagavan is our own self. So Yukta Asita Matparaha. But why Bhagavan is telling about these kinds of things is that sometimes we are not in a position to have focus of our mind on Nirguna Brahman, a Brahman without any kind of characteristics or guna, very difficult to focus. So he says, Matparaha, you also, he says, think about me and start focusing on me as absolute, which means that he is standing in front of Arjuna as a Lord Krishna, as Krishna is a mentor. So he says that look at me and put me in your mind and then pray. So till such time we are able to get a wonderful understanding of the self and understanding that I can pray on the Nirguna Brahma, one can start having a form in their mind. Ishta Devata. It can be Om Namah Shivaya. You can think of Shiva, or you can think of Rama, you can think of Lord Krishna. You can have any kind of thing so that you are able to anchor your thought process and you are able to get connected to that particular form. Because we feel that when we go to temple, we get connected to that particular form. So we have been conditioned to think that God is only in a form. So till such time we are able to mature ourselves to have a Nirguna Brahma understanding, and then also having internalizing that, we need to have a kind of Saguna Brahman, which means that there should be some kind of a shape. Ganayaka, you can think of Vignesha in your thing, and then try to engage with that kind of a form. So he says that Machittaha Yukta Asa Matparaha. So he says that to try to focus thinking of me. That's what Bhagavan has told in terms of how to get into dhyana. So now next sloka.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं
योगी नियतमानसः
योगी नियतमानसः योगी नियतमानसः
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः
Good. Next.
श्रीलक्ष्मी भगिनी
शान्तिर्निर्वाणपरमाम्
शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमाम् शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमाम्
मत्संस्थां
मत्संस्थाम्
अधिगच्छति
अधिगच्छति
मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति
मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति
शान्तिर्निर्वाणपरमाम् मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति
शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमाम् मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमाम् मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति
Next.
श्रीमती भगिनी
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः
Good. Next.
शारदा राजन् भगिनी
शान्तिर्निर्वाणपरमाम् मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति
शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति
Good. Next.
लीना मेहुल्दामा भगिनी
First line 2 times.
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः
Good. Next.
कृष्णपावनी भगिनी
नमस्ते महोदय
Namaste.
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः
Good. Second line. Next, somebody else.
राजलक्ष्मी भगिनी
नमस्ते महोदय
Namaste.
शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति
Next.
गुरुमूर्ति महोदय
The entire shloka once.
Yes, sir. युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति
Next.
विजयलक्ष्मी आर् भगिनी
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste.
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति.
Next.
Sai Lakshmi Bagini.
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः शान्तिर्निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति.
Good. Next.
K. Lalita Bagini.
Yes, sir. Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamaanasaha shantin nirvana paramam mat samsthamadhigacchati.
Good. Next.
Veena Fani Shri Bagini.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste.
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः शान्तिर्निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति.
Next, one more person.
Sri Lakshmi Bagini.
Yes, madam. Full shloka, sir. युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः शान्तिर्निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति.
So we'll go to the meaning of this shloka. So in the previous shloka, we understood that the person who is doing dhyana yoga, he is absolutely getting himself out of the fear, etc. And then he is able to keep the Bhagavan in his mind, mat chittaha, and Bhagavan is the ultimate thing to be achieved in the life. So mat chittaha, mat paraha, manas sayyamya, having absolute control over his mind. Through the mind, he is sitting in a dhyana. Okay, that's what we said, prashant atma. The person is also able to get prashantam, absolute quietude is able to get by just doing a kind of a meditation with thinking about the Bhagavan, with ultimate destination that he wants to have is Bhagavan. He is sitting like that and doing meditation. Then what happens for them? Evam yunjya. The person who has been connecting to the God like that, or to me like that, evam yunjya, sadatmanam, always in his mind, the person is getting connected during dhyana to Bhagavan. With what? Niyata manasaha, with absolute control of his mind. Through his mind, he is able to get himself connected to the divine self, which is the Paramatma abiding in him. With the thought of Paramatma, that is Lord Krishna himself, he is able to get himself connected by sitting in this dhyana, in the dhyana meditative posture and meditation. What happens to him then? Shantim, absolute peace he gets. Shantim, nirvana paramam, matsamstam. Matsamstam, nirvana paramam. What is there abiding in the Bhagavan is absolute bliss is there with Bhagavan. So, what is there in me that Bhagavan says absolute bliss, that particular absolute bliss, you will be also able to get adhigacchati. Immediately, you will be able to get that bliss also. So, what he is now telling is that you try to get connected with me, connected in dhyana with me, and you will have, with the control in the mind, get connected with me, and then you will be able to get peace, quietude, and then you will be able to also achieve the absolute bliss, which is my nature. Bhagavan's nature, absolute bliss, adhigacchati, you will be able to get it very, very quickly. So that is what he is telling. What is benefit of meditation? We all may ask, okay, why should we do meditation for half an hour, 1 hour? Why are sannyasis doing so much of meditation? Bhagavan says, what is the benefit of meditation? The benefit of meditation in this shloka, it says that they will be able to not only realize themselves, they will be able to reach Bhagavan, they will be able to abide in Bhagavan, and they also will be able to get an absolute bliss, which is the true nature of Bhagavan. So, Matsamstam, Nirvana Paramam, Adhigacchati, Shantim also, or even absolute bliss you will be able to get. So he is now telling how to understand oneself and know oneself and what is the benefit of doing that. Because happiness or peace is not in the outside world. Outside world of objects has got limitation in terms of how much happiness and how much peace it can give. We have to go inside to identify the source of happiness and be abiding in the source of happiness, which is absolute Satchidananda Atma, ourselves, which is the abode of Bhagavan also. Okay. Now, he's giving some more tips, Bhagavan. Next.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Natyashnatastu yogosti.
नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति
Nachaikantamanashnatah.
न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चैकान्तमनश्नतः
Natyashnatastu yogosti. Nachaikantamanashnatah.
नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः.
Next.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
Yes.
Nachati swapnashilasya.
न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य
Jagrato naiva charjuna.
जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन
Nachati swapnashilasya. Jagrato naiva charjuna.
न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
Next.
Krishna Pavani Bhagini.
Natyashnatastu yogosti. Nachaikantamanashnatah.
नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
Nachati swapnashilasya. Jagrato naiva charjuna.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini. Okay. Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Nachati swapnashilasya. Jagrato naiva charjuna.
न चाति
चाति
स्वप्नशीलस्य
Okay, Usha Srinivasan Bhagini, continue.
न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जागृतो नैव चार्जुन न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जागृतो नैव चार्जुन. Sorry.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Natyashnatastu yogosti. Nachaikantamanashnatah.
नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः नात्यश्नस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः.
Okay, next.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bhagini.
Nachati swapnashilasya. Jagrato naiva charjuna.
न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव सार्जुन न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव सार्जुन
Charjuna.
चार्जुन
Right, good. Next.
Lakshmi Bibi Bagini.
First line 2 times.
नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः.
Good. Next.
Srimati Bagini.
Second line 2 times.
न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
Good. Next.
Gurumurthy Mahodaya.
The entire shloka once.
नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चादिस्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
Good. Next.
K. Lalita Bagini.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, full shloka.
नात्यस्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bagini.
नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
Next.
Anupama Bhatt Bagini.
नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
Good. Next.
Veena Fani Shri Bagini.
Yes, Bhagini. नात्यस्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनस्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
Good. Next.
Sai Lakshmi Bagini.
नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
One more person.
Vijayalakshmi R Bagini.
नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
So we'll go to the beginning of this shloka. So Bhagavan, he has been telling a lot of things. Now he says, tu, however, natyashnatastu, no, the tu means however, yogo na asti. This dhyana yoga is not for some people. Who are those people? Na ati ashnatastu. Ashnan means what? Ashnan means people who are eating. I am sure in the 5th chapter or something we said, no? Ashtan, Gachan, Papan, Swasan, Pralapan, Visajan, you remember? We said that all these things, a person is Spashyam, Shrunvan, Drindam, Unmishan, Nimishan, Ashtan, Gachan. All these things is a body is taking actions with the external world, either with sense organs or the action organs, they act with the world. He says, Indriyartan, Indriyarteshu Vartanta. So the yogi knows that these are all the actions or interactions between the world of objects and the senses, and he is something different. That's what we are learnt in that 5th chapter. And there we had the Ashnan also. Ashnan means eating. So here, na ati Ashnan. Ati Ashnan means if you are an overeater, then this yoga is not for you. If you are going to have a fantastic meal and then you want to do Dhyana Yoga, you will not be able to do Dhyana Yoga. And so as a practice, Bhagavad says, you need to have moderation in terms of eating. If you are not moderate in eating, this yoga is not for you. What is to be eaten is going to be talking about that in the 16th chapter or something. What is sattvika food that we need to eat, which is going to improve the quality of sattvika guna, which is very important for Dhyana Yoga. Why did we select today morning at 6:45? Because that time is Sattvic time. Sattvic time, Sattvic mind, Sattvic food, all those things only will be conducive for somebody to Dhyana. So he says that you cannot be an overeater. Ati Ashna na. You are a person who is going to be an overeater. This particular yoga is not for him. Na Ati Ashna. Then Nacha ekantam anashnataha. Anashnataha means a person who does not eat much. Cha ekanta means not even eating anything. A person absolutely fasting, he says it is also not for him. So when you have a overeating, what happens is that anytime you have food, overeating will lead to first tamasa. Immediately you feel like lying down. Okay, mind will not be in a position of absorbing anything. Sattvic quality will not be there. You want to have a tamasic quality only will be taking over when you have overeaten. And after tamasa, what happens is that because you have eaten and a lot of energy is there in the body, when you get up, you get into action, rajasic actions immediately. When you have food, good food in the afternoon, and then you sleep for some time, you get up, and then you are going to be fully energetic in doing actions. So the sattvic thing will not be available. So overeating people cannot get this yoga. Other thing is that ekantam anashnataha. Anashnataha means not eating. Ekanta means nothing. He is eating nothing. That person also he cannot do this yoga because the person will not have energy even to sit properly. When he closes his eyes, he feels giddy. So, or sometimes if he is not very well fed, if something is being made in the kitchen in somebody else's house also, this fellow will start thinking, after this meditation, I have to go there. So he says that that also should not be there. You have to ensure that you are neither overeating nor not eating anything, because these two things will not help you in terms of Dhyana Yoga. Again, another thing is that na cha atiswapna shilasya. If the person is committed to sleeping a lot, oversleeping guy, these guys also are unfit for Dhyana Yoga. Na cha atiswapna shilasya is not fit for that. One who is sleeping a lot. Then one person who does not even sleep and always awake, jagrataha, he is also unfit for this, because a person who does not have the right amount of sleep will not be able to have his body and mind in a proper tune for getting to anything. Even his absorption capability will not be there if he had not taken sufficient sleep. 6 hours to 8 hours of sleep, if adults are not having it, especially in the night time, I'm getting up early in the morning, if that is the kind of habit, then they will be able to practice these kinds of things. If somebody is going to be awake till 12 o'clock watching a lot of things and then go to sleep, and morning 7 o'clock they get up, disturb sleep, all those kinds of people, he says that they are unfit. They will not be able to do this Dhyana Yoga. So Bhagavan, what he says is that there has to be moderation in everything. Moderation in what you eat, moderation in how do you manage your sleep is all very essential. This is the lifestyle that one needs to have if he wants to get into Dhyana Yoga. And Dhyana Yoga is the only way by which one can realize themselves. That because Karma Yoga is only making the mind fit for Dhyana, mind fit for Jnana. So with the Jnana can be further taken to understand oneself as Aham Brahmasmi only through Dhyana, because the mind has to understand that. It is not that body is going to understand. Through the mind and intellect, you need to understand the divinity in you. So to prepare that, all these things are essential. Na atyashnatastu yogosti, na cha ekanta anashnatah, na cha ati swapna shilasya, jagrato na eva cha arjuna. So he says moderation is extremely important. You don't go to extremes of everything. Be very conscious about what you eat, how much you eat, when you eat, etc. Similarly, be very conscious about your habit in terms of sleeping, amount of sleep that you have, and the quality of sleep that you have, because all these things are going to play a lot of role in terms of developing oneself internally. So this is what Bhagavan is recommending. In fact, Bhagavan has really put in a lot of things as a thought process for human life, as to how we should lead our life. I'm sure that when we talk about these things, most of you will be able to relate it very, very well about this, as to how beautifully Bhagavan has compiled and done, given a wonderful Shastra to us. Okay, next.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
Namaskaram.
Yuktahara viharasya.
Yuktahara viharasya. Yuktahara viharasya.
Yuktacheshtasya karmasu.
Yuktacheshtasya karmasu. Yuktacheshtasya karmasu.
Yuktahara viharasya. Yuktacheshtasya karmasu.
Yuktahara viharasya. Yuktacheshtasya karmasu. Yuktahara viharasya. Yuktacheshtasya karmasu.
Good. Next.
Anupama Bhatt Bhagini.
Yuktasvapnavabodhasya.
युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य
Yogo bhavati dukkha.
योगो भवति दुःखः योगो भवति दुःखः
Yuktasvapnavabodhasya. Yogo bhavati dukkha.
युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः.
Good. Next.
Leena Mehuldama Bhagini.
Yuktahara viharasya. Yuktacheshtasya karmasu.
Yuktahara viharasya yuktacheshtasya karmasu yuktahara viharasya yuktacheshtasya karmasu.
Good. Next.
Sheela Shinde Bhagini.
Yuktasvapnavabodhasya. Yogo bhavati dukkha.
युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः.
Next.
Krishna Pavani Bhagini.
First line 2 times.
Yuktahara viharasya yuktacheshtasya karmasu yuktahara viharasya yuktacheshtasya karmasu.
Good. Next.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
Second line 2 times.
युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः.
Next.
Rajeshwari Shivshankar Bhagini.
There's two, the entire Shloka ones.
युक्तहार विहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः.
Good. Next.
Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
Yes, namaste Mahavir. Both the lines once.
Yeah.
Yuktahara viharasya yuktachestasya karmasu yuktasvapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha.
Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
युक्ताहारविहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः.
Next.
Bhanurekha Bhagini.
युक्ताहारविहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः.
Good. Next.
K. Lalita Bhagini.
युक्ताहारविहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः.
Good. Next.
Lakshmi Bibi Bhagini.
युक्ताहारविहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः.
Okay, so we'll go to the meaning of this. In the previous shloka, he said, Yoga na asti. This dhyana yoga is not for the people who are either overeaters or who do not eat anything, or those who sleep a lot, or who are continuous, or who are awake for a long period of time. He says that it is not for those people. Now he says to Arjuna, Yukta ahara. He says that be regulated on your eating. Yukta means in this case regulated. Sometimes in the mind also, when we say yukta, we say mind also will be controlled, the yukta word will be used. The yukta means regulate. He says regulated ahara, yukta ahara is required. We mean regulated diet, regulated eating is required. Viharas, yukta viharasya, viharaha. Yukta viharaha means you need to also have a moderate recreation. There are two ways of looking at it. Because one way of looking at it is that if you look at Swamiji and all who was doing sannyasis, who was staying in ashrams, they may be continuously doing meditation for long periods of time. For those people, they say that you just get up after some time and go for a walk and come back. You require that kind of physical exercise also. Don't continue to be sitting on a meditation, you require that. So what he is telling is that you also need to have a moderate or good amount of exercise. Not a kind of bodybuilding for body shaping and all. No. Body has got to be absolutely fit. For fitness of the body, there needs to be some kind of movement from here to there, walking or some kind of thing that needs to be done. So that also should be done in a moderate manner. Yukta ahara, yukta viharasya. Vihara, in the case of samsaris like us, can also stand for recreation. Recreations means, we may have partying, we may have this, that, etc. No? Bhagavan says, try to have moderation on all those kinds of things. I don't know how Bhagavan was able to think about so many years ago, thousands of years ago, about what is likely to happen now. Because Fridays means it's all partying time. It's celebration time. Then 4 days, holidays means picnic time. So he says that be very conscious. He says, he does not say don't do that. Be moderate in terms of recreation. Be moderate in terms of what you eat. Do not overeat. Okay, so he's telling all those things. So he says that to be a very good yogi, a kind of a dhyana yogi, you have to be very, very regulated in terms of your diet, in terms of your exercises and recreation. Yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Even in terms of work, you need to be moderate. You need to be regulated. Now, in the current IT era, they say work-life balance is very important because they are working for 18 hours a day. Bhagavan has told those days itself that there has to be regulated acting in terms of work. That is yukta cheshtasya karmasu. In actions also, you be very much regulated. Do not have overwork and don't get obsessed with work. You need to have absolute balance in terms of work and life. That is also very important. So work-life balance, what is now yukta cheshtasya karmasu, actually Bhagavan is talking about work-life balance. He says that work is not everything. Work is primarily we are looking after only getting money, etc. can be one type of work. They need to have work-life balance. From our side also, those who are karma yogis and all, we are going to be doing those kinds of karma which are essential to be done with a different type of attitude. In that also he says yukta, you have to be moderate, you have to be absolutely clear. Yoga, what is that he has told? Karmasu kaushalam is told in the third chapter. You need to be very smart in picking up what you are supposed to do. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Smartness is required in terms of what you have to do and what you will do. He can't be doing everything also. So he says very clearly here, Yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Be very, very moderate or regulated in terms of what is the kind of things that you do. And then Yukta swapna avabodasya. Be regulated in terms of your sleep as well as in terms of your awakening situation. Once you are awake in the morning at 5:36, then be active. Don't again fall into sleep at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, then again get up. No. You have to be absolutely regulated in terms of how we are going to be managing your entire living, entire day, like the type of food that you eat, the kind of exercise that you do, like the kind of work that you do, like the amount of sleep that you need to have, the amount of alertness and awakeness that you need to have. All these things you do, then you will be able to get into Dhyana Yoga also very well. And only because of Dhyana Yoga, you will be able to dukkha ha. Dukkha is sorrow. You will be able to get rid of sorrow. Dukkha ha. Get rid of the sorrows. Getting rid of sorrows is what? You will be able to come out of the samsara sagara. You will be able to realize yourself. So Bhagavan says that in order to do Dhyana Yoga, you have to change your lifestyle itself. It is just not possible that out of so many things I do, I will also do this. No, you may have to have absolute balance in terms of how do you structure your daily life in terms of whatever you do, and then find time for dhyana also. And then through that only you will be able to achieve success. So here it tells everything has got to be absolutely regulated and done moderately. Beautiful sloka. Yukta hara, yukta vihara, Yukta cheshta karmasu, yukta swapna, yukta avabodasya, yogi bhavati dukkha. Yukta hara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapna avabodasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. Very good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bagini.
Yada viniyatam chittam.
यदा विनियतं चित्तम् यदा विनियतं चित्तम्
आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते
आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते
यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते
यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते.
Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
निस्पृह सर्वकामेभ्यः
निस्पृह सर्वकामेभ्यः निस्पृह सर्वकामेभ्यः
युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा
युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा निस्पृह सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा.
You chant these yukta ityuchyate 2 times and then you can chant the full line. Yukta ityuchyate tada.
इत्युच्यते तदा निस्पृह सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा
कामेभ्यः
निस्पृह सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा.
Good. Next.
Vijayalakshmi R Bagini.
Yada viniyatam chittam atmanyevavatishtate.
यथा हि नियतं चित्तं आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते यथा हि नियतं चित्तं आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते.
Next.
Shanti Badri Bagini.
निस्पृह सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा.
निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तथा निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तथा
Good. Next.
शीला शिंदे भगिनी
First line 2 times.
यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते
Next.
साई लक्ष्मी भगिनी
Second line 2 times.
निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा
Good. Next.
लीना मेहुलदामा भगिनी
The entire shloka once.
यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा
Good. Next.
राजलक्ष्मी भगिनी
यथा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा
When next.
गुरुमूर्ति महोदय
yes. यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा
Good. Next.
वीणा फानिश्री भगिनी
Yes, भगिनी यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा
Good. Next.
भानुरेखा भगिनी
यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा
Good. So we were looking at a yogi who has gone into meditation, getting himself connected to inner divinity. So yada, that is when chittam viniyatam, when the mind is absolutely disciplined and atmanyeva avatishtate, it is able to absolutely focus on the inner self. When the mind is absolutely disciplined and when the mind is focused internally to the divine inside, nispruha sarvakamebhyah. At that time, what happens? There is absolutely no earning for enjoyments. Sarvakamebhyah nispruha. No earning, no desire for enjoyments. Then that particular time he is called yukta iti uchyate tada. That time he is called as a yogi, a dhyana yogi. When he is able to have established himself absolutely in his own divine self, after having an absolute mastery and disciplining of the mind, and there is absolutely nothing that he wants to enjoy, nispruha, no earning for any enjoyment, then in that particular state he is called a yogi. Okay, he is called as yogi. We'll take one more sloka.
शीला शिंदे भगिनी
Yes, sir.
यथा दीपो निवातस्तः
यथा दीपो निवातस्थः यथा दीपो निवातस्थः
नेङ्गते सोमभास्मृता
नेगते सोपमा स्मृता नेगते सोपमा स्मृता
नेङ्गते.
Okay. नेङ्गते नेङ्ग नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता
Yatha,
नेङ्ग
yeah, go ahead.
नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता
यथा दीपो निवातस्तः नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता
यथा दीपो निवातस्थः नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता यथा दीपो निवातस्थः नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता
सोपमा स्मृता.
सोपमा नेङ्ग yes sir
It is called sa upama. Upama means example. Upamanam. In Tamil we say upamanam. Sa upama. This is example like this. Okay. Sa upama smruta.
नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता
Smruta, correct.
okay.
Next.
राजेश्वरी शिवशंकर भगिनी
Yogiनो yata chittasya yunjato yogamatmanah.
योगिनो यत चित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः योगिनो यत चित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः.
Good. Next.
श्रीमती भगिनी
First line 2 times.
यदा दीपो निवातस्तः निङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता यथा दीपो निवातस्तः निङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता.
Good. Next.
शारदा राजन भगिनी
Second line, sir.
Second line 2 times. Yeah.
योगिनो यत चित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः योगिनो यत चित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः.
Good. Next.
साई लक्ष्मी भगिनी
The 2 lines together.
Okay. यथा दीपो निवातस्तः नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता योगिनो यत चित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः
Next.
यथा
लक्ष्मी बेबी भगिनी लक्ष्मी बेबी भगिनी लीना मेहुल दामा भगिनी
Yes, भगिनी. यथा दीपो निवातस्थः नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता योगिनो यत चित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः
First line again, please.
यथा दीपो निवातस्थः नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता.
Good. Next.
अनुपमा भट्ट भगिनी
Entire shloka once.
यथा दीपो निवातस्तः नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता योगिनो यत चित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः.
Good. Next.
कृष्ण पावनी भगिनी
यथा दीपो निवातस्थः नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता योगिनो यत चित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः.
Good. Next.
श्रीलक्ष्मी भगिनी
yes, sir. यथा दीपो निवातस्थः नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता योगिनो योगचित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः.
More person, then we'll go to the meaning.
साई लक्ष्मी भगिनी
Okay. यथा दीपो निवातस्तः नेङ्गते सोममा नेङ्गते सोपमा श्रुता
Smruta.
योगी यतचित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः.
Okay, one more person.
Vijayalakshmi R Bagini.
यथा दीपो निवातस्तः नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता योगिनो यतचित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः.
Good. So we'll go to the meaning of this shloka. It's a very nice metaphor they are given, example they are given. So the yogi has already got himself in meditation, established his own divine self inside, and is absolutely controlled over his mind, disciplined mind, and he's sitting in meditation. And how do they compare him? Is yada deepaha nivatastaha. Where, like the way when you have a lamp which is there in a place where there's no wind, okay, what happens? The jwala, the deepam, will be beautifully lighted. It will not shake, it will be steady, absolutely steady. There is a kind of jyoti, but the jyoti is very steady, no flicker. Na ingate. Na ingate means does not flicker. Like the way, in the absence of wind, Deepa Jyoti is able to be very steady, beautifully giving out the Jyoti and not having any kind of flickering. Sa Upama. This kind of Upama is being given for the yogina, for those Dhyana yogis who have Yatachittasya, who have been able to have an absolute mastery and control over their mind. And then Yunjato Yoga Matmanaha, in Dhyana Yoga, they have now been able to connect with themselves and they are just deeply meditating. When they are deeply meditating, like the way in the absence of wind, like the way it does not even shake and it is beautiful flame is there without any shake, like that this yogi is also absolutely unshaken and is established in his own self, in self, the self divine. That is the understanding. Now the question may be asked, why Deepa? Why it cannot be a mountain? A mountain is also still, absolutely still. Why Bhagavan has not taken mountain? The reason is that mind is so very fickle. Even a small disturbance, the mind gets absolutely distracted. Like a small amount of wind coming in, also the lamp starts fluctuating. The flame starts fluctuating. So the mind is as fickle as a flame. But now the flame, in the absence of disturbances of wind, the way it is absolutely steady and beautifully, and the jyoti is enlightening thing. No, it is enlightening, self-illuminating. So that is also another way of understanding it. Bhagavan has taken the example of jyoti because it is self-effulgent, absolutely steady. It can be easily disturbed, but still it is steady because na ingate nivatastaha, absence of wind. Similarly, this yogi is also absolutely steady. There's nothing that is going to disturb him, and he is able to connect himself with the God. So that is a beautiful example Bhagavan has given, and that is the way, like the way this flame is there, like the absolutely unfickle, the unflickering, the same way this yogi is able to connect with his own divine self when he is in deep meditation, when he has got a total control of his mind, that nothing can disturb his mind, which can take everything out of control. So this is what he is given as the state of the yogi at that particular point in time. Yatha deepo nivatastah nengate somapasprutha yogino yata chittasya yunjato yogamatmanah. So I'll complete the sloka that we did today and then Prashant, this I think we're done. Yunjan nevam sadhatmanam yogi niyata manasaha shantin nirvana paramam vassamstamadi gacchati natyashnatastu yogosti nachaikantamanashnataha nachati swapnashilasya Jagrato naiva charjuna yuktahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta svapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha yatha viniyatam chittam atmanyevavatishtete निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तथा यथा दीपो निवातस्तः नेङ्गते सोमपास्मृता योगिनो यतचित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ